Yeah, good luck.
Okay, so today I'm presenting on my project on universal charging. Why universal charging? Well, I always thought that there was a lack of universal charging here at Maranatha, especially in related to iPads and everything, because I always felt like it was just a hassle to get out of class or go during my break to put my iPad or other device to charge, which was very tedious and kind of not very exciting for me. So the problem I came up with is that there is a problem with portable charging not being used at Maranatha, and despite there's several stations allocated around the campus, there is no effective use of it anywhere, and this problem has negatively impacted a lot of, let's say, people and students who have to leave instruction time in class to put the devices and charge them. And the possible cause for this problem is that not all students have considered that effective way of charging, which has probably been mostly due to the part that I haven't been able to think of it, because they're just used to just the way we're charging everything right now. So perhaps the most effective way to probably research this would be ethnographic study of a student charging with a universal charger and seeing their reaction to that process, and if they like it better or not than they do right now. And then my research question is, how fast can a student get 50% of their device's battery while they're outside of the classroom and inside the classroom as well? Because we also would like to incorporate something that's also inside the classroom. So my hypothesis, I believe that universal charging would be used in different ways, and I'm assuming that people would like the idea of being able to charge more efficiently in the campus. And so I'm investigating the impact of charging in the school and how to improve it. And the significance of this is to find out if there's any possibility of improving the charging systems at school. And so yeah, so my original research, okay. So I investigated different possibilities of being able to incorporate a better charging system at school. At this point, students have to leave classrooms in order to charge their devices, which has become a hassle for some of them, I would say, because they have to open the case and put everything in correctly. And this is and the best possible solution to stop the hassle of people leaving class and put the charging is probably to make portable charging more accessible to them in probably, let's say, inside the classroom or somewhere closer to outside the classroom, where they wouldn't have to walk so far or take the time. Okay, so I did a Google form survey, and as you can see, people charge their device multiple times a day and throughout the week. Most people charge their devices less than 30 minutes or over 2 hours, which says that people are charging a lot of their devices majority throughout the day, throughout the week, right? And then since most people are charging their devices multiple times a week, this means that there's also a preferred charging connector, and in this case it's Apple, and most people, Apple, as you can see. And then after Apple is USB-C Type-C, and then USB-C Type-A, okay? And in this case, it means that most people charge their phones and laptops a majority of the time, and then iPad would be third most here, okay? So we have more results we have realistically, okay? Option 1, okay? We have a phone pocket, right? This would allow the user to put their phone in the pocket and be able to wirelessly charge while they're doing their work or other activity. This device could be hung on the side of the wall or on a desk, which would enable a user to be for only the phone, but also allow it to be more personalized. Users could charge their phone, and this device could easily be set up on several desks, right? So people could charge their phones, iPads, AirPods, and other such things, right? Option 3 is a bit more like out of holder, and place it under a table, and then have a device pick up the connection and charge. However, I was oblivious to the fact that wireless charging has a range which it charges, so this went out the window really quickly, so I had to change it up and find other ways to implement my charging system. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Couple of questions. Thank you for your presentation, Jeremiah. I really appreciate it.
A couple of questions. When it came to your research, what did you find in your original research that kind of helped lead this project? What was your findings within that?
Well, I found that a lot of mostly up here. Give me a second. I found that for my articles, it talked about, especially this one, cell phone usage and academic performance and experiment. It's basically an overview of an experiment in which they see people's phone usage and how does that affect the academic performance of a student with their grades and how that limits their capabilities, right, with their being able to being distracted from a phone, right? And then from the secondary article, I found energy efficiency of mobile device recharging. I found that, well, charging closely and also like finding more possibilities of charging would help a student with their iPads or their other devices, which would enable them to like learn better and provide like instead of taking the time out to go to class and charge their iPads and then other devices, they could just have it in the classroom where it's just more where it's more like efficient for them to just be in.
Okay. And then last question: if you had more time and a bit more resource, what would you do differently, or what would there be still time to do? If there was more time, what would you do in addition to for the project?
So majority of the time, right, I was trying to figure out. So I was oblivious to the fact that the wireless charging has a range, right? Correct. So if I these other options, if I thought about these other options beforehand, I could have tested them out, like left them somewhere, and then asked the student to tell me whether or not they liked that certain sample of the design, or they like this other example better, or this one would be preferable for a classroom in which people use a lot of their devices and everyone's charging. So yeah.
So then it sounds to me like that was a limitation, just like having more time for testing was some of the limitations that you experienced there.
Yeah.
Okay. I thank you for putting that time and effort this year. Really appreciate it. And thank you for finishing strong by presenting your presentation. So, well done. Thank you, sir.